Donald Trump on Monday began telling trade partners what tariffs they will face from August 1st. That's later than the original July 9th deadline, and the president appeared to suggest the new date wasn't totally set in stone.
I would say firm, but not 100% firm. If they call up and they say, would like to do something a different way, we're going to be open to that. But essentially, that's the way it is right now, yeah.
So far, 14 letters have gone out to other countries. Investor attention focused on the 25% levies set for major trading partners Japan and South Korea. However, the new tariffs do not add to previously announced duties on specific sectors. That means the rate for cars, for example, stays at the existing 25%, rather than hitting a cumulative 50%. The letters say that any retaliatory tariffs will trigger further US levies. And Trump says it's the least he could have done.
We've talked to most of the countries, and pretty much they've had their way for many, many decades, as you know. And it was time that we just wanted fairness. This is not really equitable from our standpoint, because it's just a small token by comparison to the damage that's been done over the years.
South Korea and Japan both said they would continue talks ahead of the new August 1st deadline. Among the other letters sent out, Laos and Myanmar were the worst-hit nations, with tariffs set at 40%. EU sources said they did not expect to get a letter and aimed to reach a trade deal by Wednesday. Trump said India was another where agreement was close. Earlier on Monday, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that he expected several announcements over the following 48 hours. He said his inbox was full of last-ditch offers.
One day in early July, more than 100 migrants set off from the French coast for the UK. Others didn't manage to climb aboard. France and Britain hope to intercept more of these taxi boats, dinghies that motor along the coast to evade capture, stopping to pick up waiting migrants. French President Emmanuel Macron pays a 3-day visit to Britain this week, and the two countries are expected to unveil measures that will allow French police to intercept migrant vessels up to 980 feet offshore. But activists, migrants and police interviewed by Reuters were sceptical the plan will work. Julien Soir, a police union representative in the French city of Lille, said police are already stretched covering the coastline. Officers lack the equipment and training needed for seaborne operations. And, he said, they fear drowning if they fall in the water with heavy equipment, or personal legal liability if migrants die or are injured during an intervention.
It's going to require quite a large number of boats. Because we have to cover a strip of over 980 feet along 111 miles. So this means aerial surveillance too. Because during the day, it's going to be necessary to look for people. It's more complicated at night, since we have aerial surveillance, which don't have heat-sensitive cameras.
One early morning in June, French police stopped a group of migrants who pleaded in vain for a chance to attempt the crossing. Police slashed their inflatable dinghy. Activists also opposed the proposals. Angele Vettorello, coordinator at the Utopia 56 charity in Calais, told Reuters last month they would only make the crossing more dangerous. In 2024, 73 people died trying to cross the channel in small boats.
What we hope from the perspective of NGOs is that this doctrine will not pass, because it will lead to even more deaths. It will lead to even more repression for people in distress, to potentially fatal incidents. But in any case, we expect extremely dangerous things to happen to people who attempt the crossing.
Nearly 20,000 migrants have arrived in Britain on small boats so far in 2025, a record high for the first 6 months of the year. The influx has helped Nigel Farage's Reform UK overtake British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour Party in the polls. Right-wing populist Farage has proposed using the Navy to intercept migrant vessels and take them back to France. Lawyers say this could only be done if France agrees.
Activist Lee Min-bok is known for sending balloons into North Korea, where he once defected from. They carry leaflets against leader Kim Jong-un into the isolated country over the border from the south. But Lee hasn't sent them for months now, for fear of a potential crackdown closer to home, as newly elected president of the South, Lee Jae-myung, has been pushing to ease tension with the North. The president says activists should be severely punished if they keep sending balloons. For years, police have monitored Lee, the activist, from next door. One plainclothes officer told Reuters they're there to protect him from North Korean threats. But now, he spends his days writing online posts criticising the South Korean government instead of planning balloon launches.
I've been doing it quietly, and what's wrong with that, provoking North Korea? No way, I want to continue it until North Korea liberalizes its press. Our government should be ashamed of itself.
Balloon activists like Lee, many of whom are also defectors, are no strangers to political attention. A previous Liberal president tried to ban their activities, but that was declared unconstitutional. Last year, North Korea expressed its anger over the balloons by launching waves of its own into the south, some carrying garbage. Since taking office, the new president has ordered measures to stop leaflet launches. Officials discussed deploying police to border regions and using aviation safety laws to punish activists, according to the Unification Ministry. One police official said that in the last year, authorities have investigated 72 leaflet-related cases, including some involving American activists, and sent just over a dozen to prosecutors. The moves are welcomed by some residents who have said the launches put them at risk. Park Hae-yeon is a farmer whose family runs a restaurant in Paju, a town near the border.
Now I am hearing leaflets are not being distributed. Hearing that, I thought, okay, I just need to work harder and serve my customers well. And of course, keep working hard on farming and living my life. I see a sign of hope.
President Lee may still face an uphill battle in improving ties with the North. Last year, Kim Jong-un abandoned a goal of unification with the South and has shown little openness to diplomacy. Since he took office, Lee has emphasised engagement and suspended anti-North Korea loudspeaker broadcasts at the border.
Robotics researchers at Stanford University say this remote-controlled bot could bring a human touch to underwater exploration. That's because it has the potential to transmit the sense of touch to researchers sitting vast distances away. It's named Ocean 1K, a nod to its predecessor and a reference to its ability to dive 1,000 meters, or about 3,300 feet. Usama Khatib is the director of the Stanford Robotics Center.
What is unique about this robot is its ability to actually do things. So this robot has hands that are very gentle actually. We recover treasures from shipwrecks lost 2,000 years ago. We brought beautiful oil lamps, we brought beautiful cups, and without breaking them in one piece, the archaeologists were amazed.
Ocean 1K connects to a boat on the surface of the water, which has the potential to then connect to the internet and allow remote users to control it. Users can feel what the robot touches using a haptic interface. In 2022, Ocean 1K conducted several missions below the Mediterranean, exploring sunken craft, including a submarine from World War II and a Roman shipwreck dating back to 200 AD. That mission maxed out at about 2,800 feet. where the robot was able to place a commemorative plaque on the seafloor before bringing it back to the surface. Khatib said the technology could help the study of the world's oceans, just like observatories have helped researchers explore space.
Well, now we are going to create observatories of the ocean, and we are going to let scientists come and help the ocean health, and this can be done remotely from any location on the planet to any location where the robots are deployed.